So the term rapid onset gender dysphoria, I believe, was coined in 2018 by Lisa Littman and published in her study on this phenomenon. She was a physician and a researcher who was noticing this exponential growth in the number of youth identifying as trans and did a study on it, much to the dismay of trans rights activists who want you to believe that there is no exponential growth, and if there is, it's only because of greater acceptance, blah, 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 blah. But this trend of young people without any history of childhood so-called gender dysphoria suddenly identifying as trans during adolescence or young adulthood, and that phenomenon, I mean, has been widely witnessed, and there is a lot of data to support its existence, much of which is just right in front of our eyes. Now, some people who believe in the idea of true trans, for instance, care greatly about differentiating between ROGD and classic, as it's called, gender dysphoria, which I don't care all that much because I don't believe in trans. I think it's a myth. I believe there are people who think they're trans and that word has meaning to them. I believe there are people who alter their bodies. But, I've also met people, not that many, but I've met people who had kids that fell into the classic childhood gender dysphoria and grew out of it. So what we do know, let me put it this way, what we know historically from before this became the cultural phenomenon that it is today is that those children who engaged in a lot of, sort of cross-sex behavior in terms of the way they play and dress and who they hang out with and their mannerisms, and who might even say, I am the opposite sex. It was typically boys identifying as girls, and these were typically growing up to be gay men, right? We all know that. And then, some with the girls becoming lesbians, we all know that. Now it's changed a lot because the cultural and the times have changed. But still, what we know about, again, historically, those children is that they just needed the freedom to grow up and discover themselves, and that gender dysphoria would tend to dissipate with adolescence.